listening to the new WCEG Network on WCEGTalkRadio.com. Click live stream tab or watch us live on your smart television. YouTube WCEG Network. I am Damita Chatman, your show host of Take a Stand for the next hour, where we where the worldwide community empowerment group where we speak life into community. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and on Instagram at WCEG Talk Radio at WCEG Network. Last but least, this is the disclaimer. The topics and opinions are those of the host and guests and not WCEG Network. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you, mayors, for coming out today. I done blinked out somewhere, so you probably can't see me right now. There you go. Thank you guys for coming. And we're going to have some fun talking to the mayors. We just let you know we invited all 8, and you 4 were the only one that responded. College Park mayor's out of town. Again, thank you. I'm going to start with the Fairburn mayor, since she's the right now the only lady on it. Just give a 1-minute introduction of yourself, Mayor Hurst.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mayor Elizabeth Carr-Hurst, the mayor of the great city of Fairburn, Georgia. I was elected to the mayor's office in 2017, and this is my election year. So I want everybody to know that I am running again, and we are here in the city of Fairburn doing great work. If you all have not been in the city recently, please take a tour and see what's going on. I'm a member of the National League of City Board of Directors. I am also the vice president of WMIG, which is Women in Municipal Government. And I also chair the Human Development Committee for the National League of Cities. And it's a pleasure to be with you all this afternoon.
Thank you. We're going to go with, since Mayor Vince is the visiting mayor, we're going to go with him and leave Mayor Edwards last. Come on, Mayor.
Well, hello, everyone, and thank you, Queen of South Fulton, Damita Chatman, and certainly to the amazing Penny Rogers. We certainly appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you, but certainly talk to you, not about 8 cities strong, but right now today we're 4 cities strong, but certainly we carry the other 4 cities with us. So thank you for inviting me. I'm Vince Williams, the mayor of Union City. Certainly excited about being here today to hear about not only what Union City is doing, but my colleagues as well in their great city. So thank you for having me. I think you shared a little bit about my bio, so I'm not going to take up all your time, but God has been good to all of us, and we appreciate the opportunity to share with you. And I'm going to really pull back now. I see one of our other queens has made it, so we want to make sure she has time because we do have a hard stop before the end of the show. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor Ingram, you want to unmute yourself and give a 1-minute about yourself?
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for this opportunity to be with you on this evening. Or this isn't evening yet. I'm ready to get there, though, I guess. Afternoon. I'm Deana Holiday Ingraham, mayor of the great city of East Point, where there's no point like East Point. And that is because we are really committed to making sure that equity and inclusion is more than a cliche in our city. And that as we grow, we make sure that our legacy residents and our legacy businesses are able to grow with us. And so we're doing a lot of amazing and exciting, but most importantly, impactful things in our community to really help, build our community inside out, support the development of our residents to ensure that they're able to experience the growth as we continue to be a vibrant, thriving, safe, equitable, just, inclusive, fair, and all those great things community. So we have a lot of focus on, we're working on our equitable growth and inclusion plan to ensure that we're making sure we have community engagement, just industry, inclusionary housing, and equitable economic development, as well as all of that includes making sure that we provide workforce development opportunities and making sure that we are bridging the gaps and meeting our needs for our residents as we continue through this unprecedented time of uncertainty and beyond. So thank you again for giving me the opportunity to be here with you today.
Thank you, and I'm saving the best for last. I'm saving that teenager, the mayor, William Edwards.
Thank you, Damita. I mean, my colleagues are so renowned. I don't have anything else to say. But I'm William Bill Edwards, the first mayor of the great city of South Fulton. Of course, we had our formal election in 2017, in which I won that post. And we're continuing to build our city, get our community more involved. We're now involved in what most of you know as a comprehensive land use plan. Very, very important. And we're spending a lot of time to make sure that we get our land use plan correct, that we put our residential and everything where it's supposed to be. The other thing is the fact that we just acquired Fulton Industrial Boulevard. Too much is given, much is required. And those are things that we have to get together over there. We welcome the businesses that have come over 1,800, and we want to continue to make that corridor the best industrial corridor in the region. So I'm glad to be with you today, Damita. So everybody has a hard stop. So let's get going.
Yeah, thank you. And the mayors, I know you guys sometimes get criticized for not doing what people don't think you're doing. So let's talk about what we're going to see in the next 4 years out of the cities, because in order for you to get to South Fulton, you got to pass College Park, East Point, Union City. So I'm going to give Mayor Ingram first. What will we see in the next 4 years coming out of East Point?
So what you will see is projects that will be the model for equitable development, equitable revitalization in cities that I believe will be a model for cities like East Point, 50,000 and under across this country. As we grow, we have been able to attract responsible developers, those who are not only interested in building buildings, but interested in building community, most importantly. And so we have it's about 21 acres across the train tracks behind the MARTA station in downtown East Point, where there are 2 developers, but one primarily has the majority of the site. And it will be they will have 120 market rate units. The other developer is applying for workforce development credits, or excuse me, LIHTC credits, low income housing tax credit, to be able to have 89 units of workforce development housing on it. And as well, in phase 2, there's a potential for home ownership on the same site. There's a commitment to health and equity on that site. And so the primary developer has been in communication with YMCA to see if they're interested in maybe being the anchor for the health component. The developers also offered free space to a Market 166, which is a food co-op that is made up of residents throughout the Tri-Cities area. I actually own the share of Market 166, but really, flipping that food insecurity or food access challenge on its head and not focusing on what we don't have, but focusing on what we do have, and taking things into our own, making sure that we look at the glass as half full and leverage what we have to be able to meet that food access challenge in our city. Also, there's a possibility that our East Point path, which is just under 25-mile path throughout the city to connect the city, there will also be a segment that runs through that project. And so I had the awesome honor and amazing experience of touring Secretary Pete Buttigieg through that development on Friday to share, but also the needs from an infrastructure perspective, and how we desperately need federal funding and investment in infrastructure, because just outside of the fact that there's aging infrastructure in cities across this country, we, being a primarily community of color, have also disproportionately not received the adequate investments in infrastructure. And so with Secretary Pete's commitment, as well as President Biden's commitment to equitable infrastructure and equity, throughout all of the American Jobs Plan and American Rescue Plan. I'm very hopeful that those things will get underway. Also talking with Marta about some transit-oriented development. So people will see in the next 4 years, this city getting ready to welcome the world as the World Cup comes to the Metro Atlanta area in 2026. And we have the third field on the world's first transit soccer league in downtown East Point on our main street. And so as we're preparing for that, there'll be a number of things that you'll see around equitable development and revitalization, but we'll see unprecedented growth, but we will be extremely impactful on our community. We will continue to offer workforce development and getting people in the TV and film industry, construction ready, as well as logistics.
Okay. Well, since I know you're gonna be going, I'm gonna throw this question back at you because I know back here around about December, people don't understand that Camp Creek is cut off half East Point and half Atlanta. Could you tell us what are you going to do for the East Point side and how you going to control some of that the water selling up there, the panhandling, and I'm just gonna go and throw it out there. They talk about that crime. What you got on for your side?
Well, I mean, I think when we look at the crime data, crime has actually decreased, and there was a number of hanging out in that area, we implemented a juvenile. Well, not implemented. We changed our juvenile curfew because we already had one to make it earlier, and the businesses in that area also implemented an escort policy, and we've seen a dramatic decrease in the number of juveniles just hanging out in the area, as well as crime committed in the area. As it relates to the water boys, that I see occasionally in the city of East Point, I don't see it as much or as frequently. It's about enforcement and communication, right? Having our officers, interact with them, not from a adversarial or law enforcement perspective, but from a perspective of, hey, this isn't safe, connecting them to different programs that we have within the city. But the reality of it is that, really crime prevention or addressing crime is literally a collaborative effort, right? It takes all of us working together to ensure that we have tag readers in the marketplace. We have license plate readers. We have also, there's video there. We've increased patrolling. We've talked with Erythropolis and the CID around their coordinating efforts around that, right? To ensure that there's more of a presence. But my understanding is that crime has decreased in the area. And awesome. I know that we haven't seen the large congregating of juveniles who are unmasked and, during the time of a pandemic.
Again, thank you for your support and continue doing what you're doing up there, Mayor. We're gonna go to the Mayor Fairburn.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and to all of my colleagues out there. Fairburn is on the move. When I did my State of the City address, I started off by saying, what a year. 2020 was a tough year, and I think it was a tough year for all of us. But 2021 has come in, and we've done a lot here in the city of Fairburn. The next 4 years, we're going to move the city even further than where we are now. And I'm sure that all of the other cities are experiencing the same thing that we're experiencing when it comes to infrastructure. We have a lot of failing infrastructure in our cities. We are going to use some of the American Rescue Plan to come into the city and repair a lot of the failing structures that's around the city. The city of Fairburn has just finished we're completing a $4.9 million streetscape downtown. We're going to be adding to this. We're hoping that within the next 90 to maybe 100 days, downtown will be ready. It'll be a walkable community downtown. We just put in downtown in one of our train depots, Casablanca. Casablanca was a very prominent and well-known restaurant that was burned out several years ago. Casablanca went to the city of Palmetto for a couple of years. And so we brought them back. They're going to be occupying that train depot. We have another restaurant that we have downtown because we really didn't have sit-down restaurants downtown. And that's Amondo's. We are looking at taking our Highway 74, which is one of the major corridors here in the city of Fairburn that runs from Fairburn from 85 all the way to Peachtree City. We have just gotten a Piedmont urgent care. Fairburn has never had an urgent care. We had to go to Fayetteville in order to seek just minor care. And so with that being, we're really excited about that. Fairburn has 187 unit luxury houses that's coming in right off of Verlin B. Smith. We're excited about that. We have another subdivision that's coming in. It's going to be about 120 houses there that's coming in. And actually, we got about 3 new subdivisions that's coming in. So we're going to be bringing folks into the city. With that, the city of Fairburn has been working for the last 3 years, and the next year is coming up with our water authority. The city of Union City, the city of Palmetto, and the city of Fairburn. We've gotten a permit to start working on bringing our own water from the Chattahoochee into our 3 cities. And we're really excited. This has been something that's been on the burners for the last 20 years. The last 3 years, we were able to get this permit. We had a lot of issues with the city of Atlanta, but we have the permit. And so we're looking at the engineering phase of it right now. Where exactly we're going to put the water towers, where exactly we're going to run those pipes. And so that's going to be a major initiative for the city of Fairburn for the next 4 years. We want to own our own. And we're happy that the city of Atlanta has allowed us all of these years to get water from them, but we want our own water. And so when their issues come up, we want to be able to handle the issues here within our 3 cities. And so with that being said, the new STEM school, $57 million STEM school. We're really excited about this STEM school. We're looking for them to start. We just gave them a certificate of occupancy last week, which means that we're hoping that they're going to be able to start with a new school year. Landmark Christian School has a new high school here in the city. So we are moving, and it's not just talk. We're doing the work, and we will continue to do the work here in the city of Fairburn.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go to Mayor William Edwards.
Well, thank you so much, Damita, and good luck to every one of my colleagues who are running for re-election this year. That includes myself. Good luck to each and every one of us who are running this year. I think we've all done a fine job. You know, one thing I can say about our city, you know, being 4 years old, we've kind of had a blank canvas to draw on. And that's kind of made us a little bit different than other cities who have been around, like maybe Fairburn and Union City, who've been around 100 years. We've only had the experience of 4. Well, we're doing some pretty good things. And like Mayor Holiday was saying, we also applied for a TAD opportunity for our city that will help us to increase our economic development. So we're hoping that that happens. Of course, all of us are faced with this T-SPLOST and have used that money for our infrastructure and our roads, which is very, very important to people. Well, people may understand that T-SPLOST is a set amount of money. I wish it was much larger, but we do what we can with what we got. And we're in conversation now about the T-SPLOST. And of course, communities always, you know, fight with each other. So who's going to get the majority of the T-SPLOST money? So that's going on right now. We have a URA program to the tune of about $17 million that we're gonna be using to improve our parks and things of that nature. Our parks have been old. We have 17 parks in our city, and we want to go in and really do a bang up job into revitalizing them and things of that nature. Also, our fire stations are going to be going through major repairs, major opportunities for us there, and also we have replaced a lot of our fire equipment, which we're happy about. But we also replaced a lot of stuff in our police department, buying new equipment, buying new cars. I got 40 more cars coming this week. We're trying to beef our police department up. We need about 100 more officers. So we're on pace right now to secure that. We're looking at 50 right now, but we're on pace to secure that because if you remember in my state of the city, I always say, nobody goes where they can't feel safe. And we want to make sure that when you come here, that you can feel safe. We're booming in economic development. I mean, our application for residential housing is just off the chain. And I think at next meeting, I got some 18 zonings coming up. But what are we really looking for? You know, we're looking for this idea of town center, where people can come in, stay off the road, they come into their homes, they got their own shops, or they got their own commercial in, and they don't crowd our roads anymore. They're kind of like seniors do. They live in place, or they age in place. So we're looking for some more of that. Also, we've got a couple of senior housings coming up, which all of us know that's very important to all of our cities, to make sure that our seniors are housed adequately. But beyond that, we have started what we call our Main Street program. We have identified 2 Main Streets, one being Old National, one being Highway 29. We've hired a Main Street manager for the Roosevelt Highway area. We're in the process of getting a Main Street manager for the Old National area. Just recently, we received a $125,000 grant from ARC just to look at the Old National corridor, which we really appreciate ARC for doing that. Outside of that, we also have what is called Collab South. We have 2 Collab South offices, one on Old National and once again, one on Roosevelt Highway. These particular facilities allow business people who are already existing to help them along to prosper their business, and also help those people who want to come in and do business. Small businesses are more than anything. We kind of help them walk through the process. So these 2 Collab South offices, as we call them, are open right now. Couple of projects that I want to mention. One of the projects I want to mention is the Red Oak Historical District, and that's a project that's dear to my heart. It started by, most of y'all know this, but there's a cemetery on Highway 29 in Red Oak. Well, that cemetery was vandalized, and we went out there to look at the damage. And when I got out there to look at the damage, Damita, I saw headstones that said Chapman, Seaborn Lee, Gillette. And I was like, I found y'all. You're right. You're part of the history of this region. And so, so why can't we just make this a historical district? So we're in the process of looking at that. We've got our drawings and renderings. And believe it or not, we want to make it what I'm gonna say, contemporary. We want to stay in line with cities like Union City and Fairburn and East Point, to give that same kind of look, the old storefront look. We want to keep it along those lines. We don't want you to come out of Union City and jump into something that looks like you're in downtown Atlanta. We want to make sure that the look is consistent down the corridor. So we're in the process of doing that. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be from Washington Road all the way down to Delano Road. That's just before you get to South Fulton Parkway. So it's a massive undertaking. Georgia Power has helped me to get the demographics over that area, and I can tell you, I was very, very surprised at the demographics that they had over there. So we're in the process of going and doing that. So right now, that's where we are. We keep promoting Fulton Industrial is going to help us to bring in some more industrial buildings, easing the burden on the taxpayers in our city, because right now the taxpayers have carried the weight of tax costs in our city. So that's why it was so important for us to get Fulton Industrial Boulevard, who allows us now to have more opportunity to bring industrial over on that part of our city to help our residents to lower their tax costs. So we look forward to doing that. So as of now, we want to be one of Georgia's greatest cities, like the rest of my colleagues, but we want to be as inclusive as we can. You heard that in my speech, the state of the city. Inclusion is very, very important to me, because you don't have everybody working on the same page or trying to work on the same page. It makes your opportunities less. So thank you once again. We're working hard in the great city of South Fulton.
That's why I got you on there. Let me ask you, the trash, and that's the big thing. You know, I would love to have our own trash service. So are you guys looking into that?
We have a program that, Damita, that you're going to be totally excited about, which is not going to be your trash, but your bulk waste.
Okay.
And things that nature. We're gonna have one hauler, all right, who's going to do all that. I think that you're going to be really, 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 really surprised and really, really excited about the plan we're going to institute in that area. Okay.
All right. Long as like that plan up in Ohio where I can put anything out there and they'll pick it up. I like that. Thank you. Now I'm gonna go.
You pick up anything but dead bodies. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go to the mayor Vince Williams, the one that keep me grounded on them scriptures in the phone early in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I tell you, Damita, listening to my colleagues, you know, certainly we all have commonalities. Not only that we are connected at the hip by our cities, a lot of the things that we're all doing are very similar because we all have a very similar demographic in our communities. Equity and inclusion is extremely important to us. Certainly the element of crime that you spoke of or have been speaking about is important to us. But when you look at the stats, the crime data shows that crime has gone down in all of our cities. The unfortunate thing is we have this element of crime that is really overtaking the city of Atlanta, and we're just a stone's throw. So as long as we continue to stand together with our united police departments, and all of our chiefs are in constant contact with one another, I think we'll be able to really mitigate some of those concerns. But certainly public safety and police is paramount to all of us because, as Mayor Edwards stated, people want to be where they know they're safe. They don't want to come and visit, live, spend money where they got to look over their shoulders or worry if their car has been vandalized. So certainly that's important to us all. One of the things that, a number of things that Union City will consistently continue to work on is promoting healthy economic growth, certainly making sure that we continue to facilitate zoning and equitable administration of that zoning and all of our zoning codes and ordinances, but also providing, building permits and plan reviews and inspection services to support our current city's comprehensive plan. One of the things we will also be working on is certainly making sure that we utilize this ARP funding, this American Rescue Plan funding, to the best of our abilities to address a number of issues that will allow us to use those funds, because there aren't a whole lot of limitations on this direct funding that we are now being blessed to get. It wasn't like the CARES Act funding. A number of y'all heard about the debacle we had, with the first round. But we are past that, and the funding the Biden administration has committed, and we are awaiting those funds to help us as we continue to move forward. One of the proudest things I am excited about is the joint gateway opportunity we've done with the city of Fairburn. And I'm looking forward to doing that with some of my other cities. I think the only one that we probably could look at doing something like that is the city of South Fulton. But in listening to Mayor Edwards talk about the Main Street manager that they've hired, all of us, Highway 29 touches all of us. So certainly he's definitely correct in saying that we should keep continuity. But one of the things that I want to talk to him about after this is the possibility of maybe uniting to utilize the same Main Street manager, since we're all making sure we want to keep the same look. That way you have someone who is focused and on this particular destination place, because Highway 29 can be one of the most exciting destination places in the Metro Atlanta region. So I'm excited about hearing that. We're focusing heavily on parks and recreation. We found that in COVID, recreation was important. And we have certainly put a lot of time and effort in some of our parks that we have. And, Mayor's Park, we really invested heavily in that, and it is packed every day. We put a lot of money into our Highway 29 ball fields. And so certainly that is something that we are really focusing on to make sure that we continue to drive, the opportunity for folks to be able to recreate, but not feel that they are in harm's way, because we're not out of COVID. We're turning the curve, but we got to make sure that we create safe spaces for folks. We're using a three-pronged approach to what we're going to be doing over these next few years, and that is reclaim, renew, and reimagine. And we have different zones for making sure that we do those things. The reclaim area will be a landscape of community recreation in our Zone A area of the city. In our Zone B area, which is the renew area, it will be a renovated civic heart for Union City. And our reimagine area, which is the Zone C, it's going to be a dense, walkable, and mixed-use urban village, which will serve as a catalyst for future growth in homes for future generations. Mayor Edwards spoke about this, and we all know how important this is, and that is affordable senior housing. Around this nation right now, there is a lack of senior housing. We have got to make sure that we address this issue in all of our cities, because if we don't, we miss the mark, but also we widen the gap for the homeless population. And Lord knows we don't want to see additional homeless seniors. One of the greatest things for that is the need for having affordable housing for seniors is we're living longer. All of us know one day we will be requiring senior housing somewhere. And we want to be able to live on our own and do our own thing, because seniors want many of the same things that the millennials want. So we're excited about focusing on that. We have 2 new affordable senior housing developments on its way to Union City. We're just excited about being able to continue to maintain property values in the city, establish a place of comfort for our citizenry and our neighbors, but also maintain aesthetics. That is key. I tell you, and I heard you mention this issue around trash and all of that. Well, it's going to take not only the cities, it's going to take the people who live in the cities to participate in that. It grieves me to drive around, and I know that our public services folks have just finished cleaning an area in less than an hour. Yeah. I challenge you to go behind one of your public service folks in 1 hour. Somebody's come by and really defaced it once again. So we want to make sure we continue to do that, but also continue these safe environment spaces and continue with the economical improvements. I'm so excited for the city of East Point, Hateville, and College Park in achieving the passage of most, because we all know how important infrastructure is to all of us. And that is a window of opportunity that many of us will be following, and certainly I'm excited about what they will be able to do, but certainly it's exciting that everybody is paying attention to the South Side now. This is where the future of Metro Atlanta will be, the South Side of Atlanta, because when you look at the North Side, it's practically built out. There's nothing more you can do. It's all over here. And, you know, and talk about another exciting passage was certainly FIB. That was critical, not only to the city of South Fulton, but to our region. It's right in the city, to be perfectly honest. Why not be in the city of South Fulton? So, you know, I mean, it just gives me chills about the opportunities that we all have collectively, but also individually as well. So there's a lot of great things happening, and I certainly appreciate being with you to talk about those things. We're right now embarking on renovating. Well, really, it's rebuilding. We thought we were going to be able to renovate the old train depot here in Union City. Couldn't do it. So now we are rebuilding a brand new train depot, and we were able to capture a lot of historical artifacts in the old depot, and we'll be displaying those as well. So we're excited about that and a number of other opportunities that you'll be seeing over these next few years as we continue to move and grow in the city of Union City.
Thank you. Well, I got a couple of hot questions, and so this is a hot topic, and let's talk about the warehouses. The warehouses is here now. That's for all the mayors. They're here now, but I think we can do something creative to make it look better. Maybe put some art on them. Keep the curb appeal looking nice. Some of the curb appeal that I've rolled by, it's not that great. I think we can do a little bit better. What about when you do warehouses? Have you thought about doing work, play, live, grocery store, something like up in Cobb County? Now, I know you do have the ASO plan out there because we do ASOs every night. And that's a big thing over in Union City. Mayors, I'm correct? The ASO?
Well, I'm gonna speak about the warehouses for you, Damita.
Okay.
The warehouses have been a huge benefit for Union City. As you heard Mayor Edwards speak about the need for their commercial tax base, that's what Union City certainly has been able to benefit from, the huge tax revenue that those developments bring to our communities. It takes the lion's share of burden off of our residents. So certainly it's been a huge opportunity. But any of our warehouses that are in the city, they have a responsibility, just like homeowners, to take care of their property. So if you see a warehouse that hasn't, it's not maintained, please call me and let me know. But as far as future development of that type of industry, we have worked aggressively over this past 2.5+ years in revising and amending our TCMU zoning ordinance, which is town center mixed use. The unfortunate thing is that was created so that, because as you know, probably back in 2005 and 6, that is when the TCMU zoning ordinance was created, because of many of those large landowners wanted to build, especially off South Fulton Parkway. It was supposed to be a real shopping mecca. Well, the housing crash came in. Home Depot was on the books, pulled out. A number of others were on the books, pulled out. So a lot of those places were left vacant. The land is still there. Some of it now is built up, but certainly that area was designated an industrial area to a degree, but town center mixed use development gave us an opportunity to hopefully get some of those other mix of uses in those opportunities, but it didn't happen. What took place was just the single development of those types of developments that we now see. But they have been huge job generators. Thank God that they were huge job generators, because all of those were considered essential work spots. So all of those people were still open. As you said, you work with ASOS. They did not stop doing COVID. I know during COVID, my wife and daughter had boxes coming every day, if not every other day. And I can imagine my 3 ladies I'm looking at right now had boxes coming to their homes. But certainly, you know, that industry has been great neighbors to us. And they have been huge benefactors to us from a financial standpoint. But certainly we want to make sure, can we do better? Yes. Can they do better? Yes, they will. And those are things we're looking at as we continue to move forward with future developments. One of the things and conversations we're having is, does it have to look like an institution? So those are things we're looking at that will, you're looking at something that will be more attractive to the community, but also we have expanded the buffers to future development, that it does not impede or impact our neighbors, so they can continue to enjoy their day-to-day lives, but certainly it's a work in progress, and certainly a lot of people don't know what's going on because they don't know who to ask or ask the right questions, so the thing is, just find out what's going on, and we're certainly here to share that information with you.
Yeah, since you guys gonna have to be wrapping up soon, we're gonna give it to the Mayor Edwards.
Damita, let me say this, and I agree with my brother that certain things have economic value, and I'm with that 100%, and causes a burden to be lifted off of residential properties. But that I will say this, when there are certain things that you cannot keep within the boundaries of a city limit. See, noise permeates across the city limit. Other environmental issues permeate across a city limit. And those are the things that we have to consider. You're right. It's there. Nothing we can do. If I'd be lying to you if I told you that there was no impact to my city. I'd be lying to you. Because there's been terrific impact to the city of South Fulton. So nothing we can do now, but we can have conversations about where do we go from here? How do we communicate from here? How can we lessen the burden on those things that are not calculated in a land use plan? Once again, the issues of environmental stuff, noise impact, our roads. These are all things that have to have a conversation with, because what I realize now is what is an empathy of what I'm going to see in the next 5 years. Because as I go home every night and I go down South Fulton Parkway, I come up South Fulton, I live there. And I only can imagine when everybody's in full progress, when everybody has rented all the spaces and bought all the trucks and bought all the whatever in, I can only imagine where we'll be. Absolutely. 92 highway mixed with trucks, mixed with cars, mixed with school bus. And the worst disaster I ever want to see in my life is a school bus get hit by 18 wheelers. Don't want to see that. So I mean, we need to have conversation. We need to have further conversation about other uses, about other things that affect us more than just the dollars from economic development and things of that nature. I mean, we just need to stop and hold up and talk about it.
And thank you, Mayor. And I don't work in the government. I don't know, but I thought about, I'm little old me. What about we put a moratorium in place on some of the stuff, and we're gonna get y'all back because I know y'all gonna have to go. But this is we're gonna get off of that warehouse thing. We'll talk about that later. But what we're gonna talk about now, and you guys can give a couple seconds. Do you have any plans on youth programs ages 13 to 17 and young adults 18 to 27 years, job training and employment? That's one of the questions that came in.
We have those now. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So,
That's one of the things that Collab South does.
Yeah.
We just received a grant from the Federal Environmental Protection Agency to provide workforce development to persons, I believe it's 18 to 24, in the water and sewer industry. So like the career, future of work, the future people really being able to get job skills, training, and jobs that will be here, right, as we move forward and a lot of this automation and things are taking place. We absolutely have programming. In addition to that, let me go back to the other. We also have partnered with Amazing Stories Foundation to offer a TV and film apprenticeship program in partnership with Warner Media. And so we're in our third season. They actually are going through class right now. From the first two cohorts, we have 100% placement rate, which means everyone that participated in the program is working on a TV or film set as we speak today. And that is again for kind of like that 18 to 24, the young adult age range. We also partner with Construction Ready to provide construction workforce development training. And all of these programs are the training is being provided in our city annex building. So that's our contribution to the partnership, providing a space for the training to take place. It is on the MARTA line, and it is directly across the street from our public housing development in our city. So to alleviate those transportation barriers or other barriers and give people access to workforce development that will actually pay livable wages. So all of these programs are $15 an hour and above. The last one that will be coming is Strive ATL, which is a logistics training workforce development program. And so we will be having workforce development going on in our city annexes. I think Construction Ready started in March or April up there, but I think it might have been April. And from April through like possibly August, these three different, so it was Construction Ready, Amazing Stories is there, Strive will be there, Construction Ready will come back. And again, this is the third season of Amazing Stories Foundation. We absolutely have programs for our children 13 to 17. I am passionate. That's one of my passions, really working with youth and making sure that they have an opportunity, like an individual life plan. We all are different. We all have different skills and talents, things that we think we like, and then we try them, and then we find out we don't like them. I went in and interned with an environmental lawyer when I was in high school. I was like, yeah, I don't think I even want to be a lawyer. This is boring, right? But I'm a lawyer because I realized it was something different. Giving opportunities to our youth as well. So we have definitely expanded our programming. We had to pivot, and it actually became our food distribution center. Our rec center did during the pandemic. We distributed over 4 million pounds of food. We are getting ready to start back up our programming. So a number, baseball, tennis, just a number of basketball, a number of different football, a number of different things for kids to participate in. And we also launched into academics. So we provided virtual academic tutoring for children during the pandemic, and that will continue as well. So we want to make sure that we have scholar athletes and that we are preparing our youth for life, right? To help them be responsible and productive citizens. And so we believe that it is our responsibility to make sure that we are helping not just, have moments, but have movements and empowering our people and bringing in those things that are necessary to bridge the gap. We might not offer it directly, but we can build partnerships and coalitions to be able to come in and meet those very needs. I'm proud to say that our poverty rate, or people in our city experiencing poverty, at one point was about 28%. We haven't received the final census numbers yet, but it's down to 23%, but that's still 23% more than we'd like to have. But there's a downward trend, and I think it is because of the coalition building and partnership and really working to address root causes within the city.
Damita, when you talk about coalition and kids, I want to just thank all the mayors. We had graduations in South Fulton on this weekend, every school. And I was at Banneker's and Westlake, and I was looking to see Mayor Williams at Banneker, but he didn't make it that day. But
no, I had a funeral that day.
Yeah, I was looking to see you.
Yeah.
But I took your place. I stood in line for you. All right. But it was everybody was great. The families had a great time. We didn't have any incidences per se. But it was the one time that the Fulton South School Board didn't have a place for kids to go. They have a graduation. We stood up, and you all sent your schools and sent your people and sent your families, and we treated them with dignity, and they loved the fact of being there, and they want to come back next year. But I'm gonna let that alone.
I'm gonna say, because I know you guys gonna be getting off. We're gonna have you guys back. I'm gonna tell you guys just keep on doing what you're doing. Folks can criticize, but if you ain't sitting in the seat, you just don't know. I will say, I want to thank all the mayors for doing that graduation thing, because we're spending so much money going to Gwinnett County and in Atlanta. Just think all the dollars that can be in our community. I think whoever thought of that, I'm gonna give them a thumbs up. I wish it was with my son, but that's okay. Again, I know you mayors is up for election. Uh, I look forward to paying attention to you guys. You know, the old folks say you know what you got, but you don't know what you're gonna get. So I'm looking for great things coming out of all 8 cities, because I can't criticize College Park when I got to go through College Park to get to the airport. I can't criticize Union City because I go over there and get my Burger King twice a week. So, and then I go over to Oz Pizza out Fairburn. So, you know, we all just got to work together and stop just tearing each other, because this will be a great region, and I know we just have to work together as one, and just put your heads together, and it's gonna be all right, mayors. You know.
Damita, let me just say this. We work well together. I will say that the all of the mayors that I have worked with out here in South Fulton, even up north, we work very well together. And as you know, we all came together when we had to deal with Fulton County with the CARES money. And I think people were really shocked that all of us were on one accord, because it was about getting the money. It wasn't about North Fulton or South. It was about us getting our fair share. And even though we did get our fair share, we still stuck together. So I have a great relationship with all of the mayors. And I will say, we female mayors, we really run our cities. Don't really run our cities.
Look, hey, I'm not going to step on that. They are some awesome ladies. They have great leadership acumen, and we are proud just to stand beside them. Mary Elvis and the rest of the men, we are proud just to stand or stand in front of them to protect them.
Ain't gonna get me to say nothing bad about that, man.
We will not, you know. So anything that they need, we're here to support them. But I tell you, Damita, I said it earlier, we are on the precipice of greatness on the South Side. We have eight strong cities.
Amen.
With 8 amazing leaders. So it is no end to what we can do and where we will go. Absolutely. I gotta go. I love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. Y'all take care.
All right.
One quick thing before I go. You mentioned moratoriums earlier. We actually had a moratorium in place last year on industrial uses from February 13th, 2020 to December 29th, 2020. And look at our industrial ordinances for light industrial and heavy industrial to see how we can kind of deal with the inequities that we inherited. Unfortunately, having people live near industrial uses started on July 15th, 1912, when the East Point City Council decided that all Black people had to live. Three fertilizer plants, an oil plant, and a chemical plant. And it was so bad, they called it Stink Town. It smelled so bad. And of course, it was a whole bunch of environmental injustices and issues. But unfortunately, that spread to other areas of our city, and there are other industrial parks where people live by them as well. And so that's a situation that we inherited, and we are really trying to look at ways to move forward in a more environmentally just that minimizes the pollution in our residents, not only just like the environmental contamination pollutions, but just the quality of life impacts, and what can we do to do that? So we came out of that with 2 new zoning districts, mixed use, commercial industrial, and warehouse industrial, embedded some community benefit requirements in them, took out some of the permitted uses like manufacturing and those more harsh things that were done can be done as of right, and now special use permit has to be applied for them. And so it's not over. That's part of our just industry. I can't even talk, just industry pillar of our equitable growth and inclusion plan. So there's more to come on that, but I echo the sentiments of all of my colleagues. We absolutely work well together. We have
Thank
8
you.
cities, 8 mayors strong. 8 is the number of new beginnings, and we're
Oh, yeah.
a new beginning of
Oh, yes.
things happening in all of our cities in this season. As Mayor Williams said, you know, we are on the precipice. This is where it is, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Yes.
my friends doesn't like when I do this, but I'm gonna say this and get off. Thank you to Judge Penny as well for this opportunity. But Mike Jones said back then they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me, right?
You,
So
you better say that. You better leave that alone. Well, look, thank you guys so much. I know you guys
All
got
right.
to go. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. So let us get a evacuation plan like we got down in North Carolina. So some tornado come on or some sirens.
Already in the making.
I see. There you go. All right. We got a few more minutes. Mayor Edwards and Hurst, y'all want to say anything else for these next?
Well, I'll tell you this,
4
you know,
minutes?
Mayor Williams talked about the relief plan. And as you know, some of our colleagues know that the money that was allocated to city of South Fulton has been reduced by some $19 million.
Mhm.
And we're trying to, no one has the answer. We're trying to, we've talked to our Congress people and others. We're trying to find out why the city of South Fulton was dropped 19 million. We're not the only one. I mean, there are other cities, Alpharetta dropped by a chunk, but we're really the only one down here that was hit that hard. 19 million when we're supposed to get 31 million. That's a big chunk.
Oh, yeah.
So we're trying to find out what's that all about.
Okay.
Wow. Damita, I just want to say that, you know, Bill Edwards and my city here in the city of Fairburn, we have some boundaries. Our lines do cross each other, but we work very well together. We had an issue a couple of weeks ago with dumping. When we talk about people just throwing trash, it's prevalent out here. And so all I had to do was make a phone call. Bill got on a Zoom call, we corrected it. With the warehouses, you know, Fairburn warehouses are situated in a commercial industrial district. So we don't have as many issues as Mayor Edwards and Mayor Williams have when it comes to the warehouses. But we still, some of the warehouses have been built around existing subdivisions. And there's one in particular that we still have some problems with. But we're going to continue to work with the warehouses. We're going to continue to work with the homeowners to make sure that they can live together cohesively. And so with that being said, we're here. And I don't plan on going anywhere. I plan on moving Fairburn forward and beyond together. And regardless of what folks say, we're still going to move this city.
All right.
We're still going to move it ahead.
All right.
You've been great to work with. You've been absolutely wonderful to work with.
Look,
Thank you.
let me tell you, Mayor, if you're looking for some police, I want you to go over there to the city of Fairburn and get a couple of them.
No.
When you ride through Fairburn, you see them everywhere. I be like, where they come from?
You know, we have
Giving tickets.
we have a great police department.
But
here,
I love it, man.
but we'll go steal now. We'll go steal.
No. No stealing up in here.
I love it. Again, I want to thank you guys. We're going to get you back probably in September or maybe after the election and just talk about what's next. Again, I want to thank you guys. You guys going on and do what you do. Go on and get them seats back. Like I say, you know what you got, but you don't know what you're gonna get. And I'm people love to talk until they get in that seat.
Yes.
And people love to criticize until they get in that seat. And and people love to throw rocks and hide their hand until they get in that seat.
Amen.
So I believe in you just keep on doing what you're doing, hold your head up, be prayerful, and no weapons formed against you shall prosper. And when you're dealing with Damita, you got something on your hands. So just keep on doing what you're doing. And again, I want to thank you guys so much for coming. and you just keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Get y'all some rest.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Damita.
And thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Damita. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.